Hello and welcome to this very special edition of Jikonimagic's Meza. The holy month of Ramadan has just started, and to celebrate our Muslim brothers and sisters, I'll be sharing with you a fusion of two very iconic dishes, the Biryani and the Maqlooba. Now, Biryani is very familiar to our brothers and sisters in Kenya. However, Maqlooba might not be so familiar to all of us. So, Maqlooba, what does it mean? It simply means upside down. So I'm gonna fuse what I like in the Maqlooba, what I like in the Biryani, and bring it into one very lovely dish. If this is the kind of content that you love, that you would love to be coming back to, I do urge you to hit the notification bell, subscribe, so that you do not miss out on any of the content that I will be uploading every single time. So for our whole spices, we've got a teaspoon of cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of fennel seeds, 7 allspice berries. You could also do the powder if you cannot find this. If you cannot totally find it, it's okay, just skip it. I have the cinnamon bark, a teaspoon of whole cardamom pods, the brown ones, and I have 2 black cardamoms. If you can find the black one, it's okay. If you can't find it, it's okay again. I have cloves. They can be very potent, so don't have so many of them in your food. A half teaspoon of black pepper, nutmeg, mustard seeds. This is half a teaspoon, dry bay leaves. If you have coriander seeds, go ahead and throw them in there. If you don't have the whole array of whole spices, it's okay. Just go and get the ready-made biryani masala from the shops. You'll still have a tasty biryani. Let's just move on and start dry roasting our whole spices. We'll be starting with the bigger ones because they take a bit longer for them to actually heat up and release their aromas. For you to dry roast, make sure that it's on medium to low heat because you do not want to burn your spices. So here goes the big-ish spices. Okay. And in this instance, I'll be using the Tefal wok. I like it because of the way it heats up and distributes the heat evenly. Okay, now that the spices here have become fragrant, some have started browning, I'll add in the rest of the remaining spices. These ones will toast much faster. So once the cumin seeds and the mustard seeds begin to pop up, it's time to get this off the heat. Now that we finished dry roasting this, things are as aromatic as they can be. The next thing is just let the whole thing cool down. And once it's cooled down, put it in your grinder and grind them to the consistency that you'd like for the whole mixture to be. I prefer mine to be on the finer side, so it's up to you really. So I'm gonna empty this in here as well. These are 3 medium-sized onions that I have sliced into that kind of size. So what I'll be doing is add oil, the same pan that I used to dry roast the spices. The good thing about the Tefal pan, the non-stick, is you don't need a lot of oil. You can also tell that the pan is hot the way it's supposed to be when you look at the red dot in the middle. Once you stop reading the writings there, you'll just know that it's ready to go. We are now at that part where we get to learn where the fusion comes in. The Maqlooba and the Biryani fusing together. We have 4 medium-sized biringanya or eggplant or brinjal, depending on where you are from. And I have cut them into thick pieces like these ones. Carrots, 2 medium-sized ones as well. And I have cut into that size. These are 5 potatoes, small ones, and this is the thickness I was going for, okay? And then I have peas, green garden peas. The way the dish is originally made, the vegetables are fried in oil and they acquire a very nice flavor. However, for our fusion, we are going to use the air fryer. I'll spray some bit of oil on the vegetables and then air fry them to achieve the same result. So I'll be using the Tefal air fryer to air fry the vegetables. I'll start by preheating it, and I'll be air frying the vegetables at 180 C. So as the onions are browning at the back over here, the air fryer has already heated up. I am going to now add the potatoes. So why am I using the air fryer in this recipe? It's simply because I wanted to have the food being less rich. If you want, you can shallow fry the vegetables in the same oil that you used for browning the onions. It's a healthier option. You use less oil. So try as much as possible to have the food that you're putting in there in a single layer. At most, let it be 2 layers so that the air can circulate properly. So as you can see, the onions have turned the nice brown color. Some have not. However, if we decide that you're going to wait for all of them to turn that nice brown color, the rest are going to burn. And if you let it keep going for much longer, your biryani fusion with Maqlooba is going to be on the bitter side. I'm going to squeeze out as much of the oil as I can and then transfer the onions here. This oil that's remaining here is the one that will be used to cook the chicken. So let me introduce you to our next set of ingredients. This is a whole bulb of garlic, ginger, that size as you can see, 3 small-ish to medium-sized tomatoes. I'll also be using a chicken bouillon or chicken cube. I'll add the spices that we blended, all of them. Turmeric, about a teaspoon or so. And what I'm adding right now is mala or fermented milk. You can also use yogurt that is unflavored, 500 ml of it, and blend until smooth. Now let's pour the marinade over our chicken. We are also going to sprinkle some of the onions that we have browned. And remember the oil that I said we used, put it all in there. Some salt. I'm going to put a cling wrap over this, put it in the fridge and let it stay there for 4 hours or so, and then I'm going to cook it in the electric pressure cooker. Let me take this opportunity to introduce my partners for today's very special video, Moulinex and Tefal home and kitchen appliances, one of the most famous brands across the globe. They boast of very high quality gadgets that make our lives in the kitchen easier. If you watched my previous episodes where I shared the Christmas meal planning, I used the Moulinex electric pressure cooker and cooking the biryani was such a breeze. Please go check it out if you have not done so. So let's move on and create magic in the kitchen with all these gadgets that make our life much easier. Something else that I absolutely love about the electric pressure cooker is the safety aspect. As long as that pin is up, There's no way this lid can open regardless of how much you try to open it. Opening the lid is by twisting it to this side. It is absolutely stuck. But once the pin falls down, as you'll see later on, it's going to be very easy to open the lid. So this acts as a lock mechanism to prevent burns and the like. Okay, now that the pin has fallen down, let me show you how easy it is to open. Simply turn it, and there we go. So let's see what we have inside here. So this is our chicken stew. It's not cooked through, okay? With all the cooking that's bound to happen, the air frying bit, and then finishing it off, still when you're making the Maqlooba bit, you can imagine how it's going to be. So let's not overcook the chicken. I already have rice in the sufuria. These are 4 cups. So what I did is I added the water from here, okay, and I have that amount remaining in there. The aim here is to ensure that the rice cooks. You don't cook it fully. This will cook it like almost 50-60%, maybe 70 at most. I'll show you the next steps. Now that we've prepped everything, it's on to our part 3. Remember, the first part was just chopping things. Second part is air frying things, doing the rice at the back. Now we are moving on to part 3, which is assembling everything in the electric pressure cooker. Let me show you how this magic comes together. What makes the Maqlooba pretty is how the presentation is done. You have to be very deliberate in how you are arranging your things here. I will start by arranging the biringanya like this, the skin side down. As you can see, I'm leaving some spaces in between. And then the next thing that we're going to do is put carrots. Notice there I'm just trying to apply some oil on the vegetables themselves so that they do not stick. But it also helps that this is a non-stick cooking pot. Then the next thing is to arrange the chicken pieces. So arrange them this side down. I removed the skin of mine. I didn't want to have too much oil in the food. You can leave the skin on. I removed mine. So the only ones that have the skin are the wings. Those ones, and yeah, even trying to skin them is too much trouble. Same way biryani is a layered dish, the Maqlooba is a layered dish. Then on top of this, I'm going to arrange the potatoes. Now that we have our potatoes like that, the next thing is we are going to put in our rice. Then next we are going to put in our peas, our green garden peas. The onions, the remaining potatoes. We are going to add the liquid that remains. rinse off whatever has remained here. So cover and go to the rice setting, which is the 7th one. It automatically goes to 12 minutes by default, so that's how long we have to wait for this to start. And then you just click on the start button, and don't forget to come to the back over here to ensure that that weight is down so that the pressure can build properly. Now this is the absolute nerve-wracking part. This is nice. So this one came off, and we will shamelessly put it back for the photo ops. This is an absolute stunner. I am so excited. Like, yeah, I'm excited. I was so afraid that things were not gonna turn out well, but look at the beauty. I love it. Honestly, I do. I love the results, the way it's held together. However, the only part I wish came out a bit differently would be the way the top has really darkened. If there was a way of controlling the heat so that it's a bit lower and that it doesn't end up, you know, burning as much. But I love the way that it's released itself. It didn't hold, so the non-stick coating really works. You can see the layers that are there. That's the top. It's been a blast cooking this fusion of Maqlooba and biryani. I enjoyed it to the very last second. To my Muslim brothers and sisters, happy blessed Ramadan.